Hey, everybody, and welcome back to this week's My Hero Academia Wednesday Weekly. It's your boy Aspira, dear friend and head of hustle. Been looking around week for week. They've been saying we're looking for our guy. Well, I'm back, and I hope you guys have all been doing great these last 3 weeks. But I am not alone. Taking on this journey with me this week is Lenoco. How you doing, buddy?
I'm doing well. Yourself?
I am doing fantastic. I'm currently on the other end of the continent, so the time zone shifting has been a little bit weird for me. But that's why there's still some sunlight outside, actually, which is kind of nice. But I've been great. I've been great, and a lot of exciting things happening in the card game.
Oh, definitely for sure. All of the reveals that have been coming out has been absolutely fantastic. We have the provisionals coming up at the end of the week. Like, this is definitely one of the best weeks for My Hero. I think it's going to be in a long, long time.
Yep, absolutely. So of course, guys, there's always stuff going on in the week. You guys can just check the community calendar right here. Of course, previous to the week, we've had the time talks that we usually do. Slim Jim has moved his Market Mondays over to P later in the evening, so that people in the Pacific time zone actually can access it more, which is awesome. So super looking forward to the higher visibility there on that front. And now there's the second half of the week. Of course, we've got the Wednesday weekly today, and on Thursdays we have our slew events from our learning how to plays to our Thursday throws down, as well as the live wire hosted by Legendary Wolf Games. And you guys should definitely go check that out. That will be our next preview. Will be live on that show tomorrow. We did our first live stream showcase yesterday with Bromley from Unfun Stuff. That was super fun. I had a great time there. The chat seemed to have a great back and forth talking about the cards as they were coming up. So that was super a lot of fun, and I hope you guys are looking forward to more of that. So next tomorrow, that'll be our second showcase on a live stream, and I hope you guys are super looking forward to it on that front.
I definitely am for sure. I can't wait.
Yep, very exciting. And of course, we can't talk about this week without talking about our second provisional showdown. This one hosted by PPG, once again capped at 256 players and hitting that cap. So you guys should definitely look to come and join us if you're playing. Best of luck to you as well. But as usual, day one Saturday will be Swiss with a day two Top Cut, and all of it will be streamed live right here. So if you guys aren't already following the Twitch channel, or you guys want to get a quick pop in when you get the opportunity to, I definitely recommend you guys do it, because it should be an absolutely great time. Now, no. We talked about the provisionals, gave a quick second there, but of course we've had a number of previews. Now the players are currently setting up, getting to their seats. So that'll take a couple of minutes. But while we got there, we do have some previews to talk about. So how about we take a peep at some highlights of the different things that have been showcased over in the week. First off is the overhead reversal, which is significant because it is another throw in Earth, Good, and Life, which is, I mean, anytime you see a throw in a symbol, it's super important.
Yeah, and throws are now becoming more commonplace among all the symbols as well too. So having some throws that are going to be doing some different things in there basically is making everyone force, have to think about throws in a much more bigger light, just to know that, hey, these attacks are going to go through your defenses no matter what you do, and you got to start preparing for them. And Overhead Reversal is just a great, really solid card, and you're going to be seeing it in a lot of decks on all three of those symbols.
Yep, absolutely. Always makes an impact. Alternatively, from the other end, we have this fantastic Toga card, Excited for Blood, ultra rare foundation, and it is so incredibly good. Response flip after revival loses health, gain 4. All right, cool. 4 is a lot of health in this game. Or response was returned, you get to lose 2 when your opponent loses health to draw a card. So obviously synergizes incredibly well with Toga, but just across the board gives you so much more longevity, so much more ability to be able to dig deep and find your cards. So honestly, super impactful and off. I absolutely adore that art on this card.
Yep, the art is absolutely fantastic. It's not a unique, so I'm going to be seeing, 4 of those in pretty much every deck on those symbols too. Just because the cost of 2 health, yeah, it's a little expensive, but being able to draw 1, 2, 3, up to 4 cards a turn on death, like Evil absolutely loves it, and Life is going to be not really caring too much about the life lost. They're just happy to have another card draw in their pocket. So definitely, that's the ultra rare to be looking out for.
100%. I think you're gonna see a ton of utility in this in a lot of decks, and it feels like a true three check foundation, which is like it's impactful, right? It's going to make a huge difference. Then to round it out, this week we are showcasing Gran Torino, and as part of this kit, we have Jetstream Crash here, which is another kick, which is relevant because he is in Void and gives extra kick utility to, Eraserhead and all of those different decks as well, which is something to very much look forward to.
Yeah, this is definitely gonna be an auto-include in any of the Eraserheads that are running the Eat a Kick package. But by itself, even, it's just such a good card. Any charge and kick coming after it, basically you put this down and go, if I have another attack in hand, something bad's gonna happen. If you block it, we're gonna get a little bit more damage. If you don't block it, it's gonna be real fast, and you're gonna have to deal with it next. It's just an absolutely good utility attack that's gonna be definitely seen in most decks coming out.
Yep, exactly. Super exciting. It does look like the players are jumping into their tables, but quickly, I do want to get a quick mention before we jump over to that, guys, that we have also launched the Creators Program. So if you guys are a creator for a game, if you're inspired to be a creator for a game, and we've outlined, YouTube or Twitch, but hey, there are so many. If you write articles, if you're a podcaster, or if you're some other type of content that we haven't even seen yet, we would love for you guys to apply to the MHA CCG Creators Program. It's a great incentive to not only push you guys in creating content, but support you grow. We already do a lot of that in terms of the backend with creating the content creation calendar, working alongside creators to reveal cards. So I hope you guys have been enjoying having different creators and all that, talking about the cards. That's been super exciting, and been looking forward to working with more on that front. So that's to give more opportunities to be able to work with our creators to up the quality of content, as well as help you guys get to the next level in terms of what your aspirations might be for creating content for the MHA-CCG. So if you have any interest on that front, the links are on our website. The registration form is there as well. So definitely sign up, and we are super looking forward to launching the program proper once we've gotten registrations and able to help you guys grow and become the content creators you aspire to be. So definitely check that out as well. And once Lenoco gets a new GPU, he'll be joining us in the ranks, presumably.
Hopefully next week we'll find out. Hopefully this one doesn't catch fire,
Exactly. So we'll be jumping into gameplay very shortly when we find ourselves a game. But till then, looks like your boy is solo. It's okay. Lenoco will join us back very shortly. I have no doubt on that front. But so many things have changed in the metagame since I've last been here, because as far as I know, Kirishima was reigning supreme, but now Kirishima has definitely been brought down a step, as well as Coordinated Effort being out of the format now, which changes some of the things. I will say a little bit sad in my heart, because Coordinated Effort was such a key card to the All Might True Form deck, and I absolutely love that deck, and I haven't had the time to really sink into it and get practice with it, unfortunately. So I wasn't able to get that, but that's okay. I think for the health of the format, it's all the better. But instead, we see a shift. We see a return to our foundational characters. Jiro doing incredibly well at Eraserhead, now that he doesn't have to deal with Kirishima's advantage being able to make a comeback. And of course, Nomu being able to play an extremely solid long game. So we're seeing a great pivot of these, and I'm super excited to see where these can be taken forward when we're talking about the provisional showdown. Because there's a lot of characters that indicate high play usage during locals, during weeklies. However, we didn't see that transfer over into the provisional showdowns. One of those specifically being like Sero. Sero is a character that went from a barely played character to one of the top 10 played characters by the time we went up into the provisional showdown. However, when it actually came time to play in the tournament, we only saw, I think, 1 or 2 Seros. So those numbers didn't translate over. And I think the big thing now is just to recognize which one of those will and which of these numbers won't translate over. Tsuyu is a big deck that people have been talking about. I like Jiro personally a lot, and I do think there's going to be some that make top cut. But arguably, you still have things like Kamui Wiz that can do incredibly well. All Might 3 is super solid and is basically like an 8-hander. So I think seeing where the scale lands in terms of what we're going to see for the provisional showdown is going to be absolutely massive. So those are things that we should definitely keep on a look for as we get an idea of what we're going to do. Now, when we talk about gameplay, of course, this is the Wednesday weekly. People are playing it out, and I think we can go ahead and jump into a match. Now, the fun thing is we do have a couple of infiltration from some Jasco heads. So you guys have been commentating. They've been commentating for you for the past 3 weeks. Dear friend, and head of hustle are jumping into this tournament series. So I think as a first round, just to give them a little bit like, hey, you guys have been talking about other people's gameplay. How about we peep on their gameplay? So I will propose that we jump into watching one of our boys being able to play. So how about we kick it off with dear friend here, who's on Mina. I will give it to Luhan, who likes to play the fun decks. He's a man who's played on Midoriya for very long when people weren't on him. He's a man who has played Mina for a good amount as well at this point. So very much looking forward to playing that. We're going to get the camps set up at the moment. But while we get that up, I'll just describe it. It does seem like they'll be playing Bakugo as well, which that on its own front is very exciting. Bakugo creates some very interesting gameplay lines in terms of ignoring progressive difficulty or being able to push the game in a point where if you're not really going to defend yourself, maybe you ought to do something else.